What's going on, Rodney?
What's going on, Gary?
No, we're about 3 minutes late, but that's all right.
That's all right. I've got a little audio difficulty, but we'll get through it.
Yeah. You got some wires hanging out of your head.
I do, but
man, what happened over there? Did you not pay your speaker bill?
I must not have.
You didn't. Your batteries run out.
Of course, as soon as the show's over, I'll figure it out.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yep.
What's going on there, Gary? There's a hole.
What happened?
There's a hole. I see a hole.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm looking to see who's watching. Jim Lyre's watching. Shannon Wise. Jim Lyre says you're late. Come on, Jim. Hi, Shannon. What are you talking about, Rod?
Well, it's hard to tell because your head is right. It's hard to see. I can't tell. Is there something missing? I see something on an engine stand.
Holy
What's
shit.
going on?
Whoa. Well,
I see one of those super duper nice converters.
So there was there. Now it's there.
Yeah.
It's headed towards the door. Next.
More payments have came in.
Well, I sent a teaser picture. I said it's ready when you are. So I think in the next week or two he'll make a trip and out the door it'll go. So
ready when you are.
Woo. Man. Yep.
You haven't. What do you think about that? Are you still feeling okay? You know?
Yeah, it's it's different. Giving up on I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm just giving up on my big block and just shitting on it and sending it down the road. You know, it's terrible.
Man alive.
Took a lot of work to put that thing together.
Sure.
Woo. But I think the next plan will be more ideal and realistic and fun.
Cool.
At least that's what I think anyway.
I think you're right. I think you're spot on. Well, it looks like you've been busy.
Yeah. Well, you helped a little bit over there and I appreciate your help.
You bet. Thanks for your help.
Show up at the right time and we ripped it out of there.
Well, as you know, and I think a lot of viewers know, I have a secret spy camera in your garage. And so with that being said, I know what you're doing. And so I just came over to help, you know. So
yeah,
there you go.
Ron here says, Gary, how's the wife doing? She's like a whole new person today compared to the 3 previous days. And she made a big change yesterday afternoon. So
good.
I don't recommend hernias. Holy cow. Do not get any of those and if you have to have surgery, obviously that's a thing, but man, just don't get them because after seeing what she went through, I don't want nothing to do with him. She had a rough 3 days. Woo, man. So stay away from the hernias. She had 2 of them to fix. So, yep, doctors did a good job. And Mike Peters says there's a ridiculous amount of echo.
Ooh, not good.
What's everybody else say? Or is it just Mike? If somebody else chime in and let us know, Ron, Julia Brown is watching. Sheldon Bars. Good to know. Let's get some more feedback on that. Let's get feedback on the feedback. Let's see. Here's another. Adam.
Good here.
Man. Adam B. That's what I'm going to say because I'm going to smoke your last name. He said it's good here.
Right on. All good in the neighborhood.
Mine sounds good. No echo. I don't have any. Good. All right.
Right on.
Mike, it's you, man. He says it's good.
Good now. Perfect. You got it.
Okay.
That's a little glitch. So, well, that's good. Well, it's good to see you got your motor out, Gary. I know you've been working hard and you've been playing a nurse over there or a doctor or something as well. And you got a couple.
Not very good at it.
I see you're a certified lawnmower now.
I'm a lawn mowing machine / not a real good nurse, but she's still alive, so that's the key.
Well, hey, let's come on, that's all that really matters, Golly.
And her grass still alive too.
Hey, I noticed that. I noticed the grass looking good. Can you believe the guests we're going to bring on today? Can you believe the stars lined up and the guests we're going to bring on here in a few minutes? The professor, the director,
the big dog.
Yeah, big dog.
And shout out to Mike Peters for coordinating this and putting this together.
Yeah, it's
Mike
a good
Peters.
thing the Sears store closed so he could make it to the show.
That's right.
Yeah,
man,
that's good.
I did a lot of shopping at Sears when I was a kid.
Oh, me too, man. You get the old catalog out back in the day. You know what I mean? Flip through it.
Bought some tools from there too.
Right on.
So stuff that I still have.
So what's all going on? What's all going on?
What do you mean? What's going on?
Well, I don't know. You got anything to share before we bring in the tech director?
Well, yeah. Let's see. There was. Oh, I kind of squished it on you. Well, there was this. This kind of happened. Pulled that out. That's obvious now. It's on the floor over there. So
that looks like a certified cherry picker right there, boy.
That is a Hemi cherry picker right from Troy's garage. Troy, the Hemi guy.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, whoever took that photo did a good job.
Well, it's that spy cam, right?
That's that spy cam.
That's the spy cam. Yep. I'll
what
have
was it like 68, 69 degrees in there? We were doing that.
Yeah. Ish. Yep. 68. Yeah. John just sent a message and said the audio is rough. Okay. We'll have to see when he gets on. Real quick, y'all know you saw this the other day. Mid-America Dragway give a shout out. Mid-America Dragway would like to thank Mel Hamilton Racing for the new tires for the drag on the tractor. Thank you, Nick Roberts and Lisa Hamilton, for the support. And there's Harper on his tractor. Gonna be some new tires for the drag.
They already. You remember Gary when they had the first of the season started and they got those tires from Mel Hamilton. It sounds like they already drug through that set and get another set out there.
Yep. So Mid-America Dragway giving them a shout out.
Cool.
Yeah. That's the only two little things I had there.
Okay.
Let's make sure the audio is still okay. Somebody let us know just to make sure the audio might just be a connection on John's. Oh, he's gone.
I saw him. John. He clicked out there.
Okay. Cameron Marsoff is watching. Sean Kwasniewska.
Right on, Cameron. Cameron, you stay hydrated this week, so it's supposed to be like 109 degrees out there.
Woo. I'll be hiding inside. We
got good feedback from the feedback.
Okay, Sheldon Barr's good here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it must have been something on Facebook. Sounds okay from Amy Music. All right.
Very good.
Must have been something on John's side there with the laptop. And the
and let everybody know too, he's been down there in our little green room, if you will, in the studio, and he just went out, so he might be coming right back in. So me and Gary will play it up for a minute.
Yeah. What did you get any work done on your stuff?
I did. So I did send out that Facebook page with the doors. I don't know if you got that to grab, but
I did.
Metcalf and the boys over there helped me out once again. Got all my stuff from LMR to put the little hatches on, or not the hatches, but the latches, outer latch, inner latch. I keep saying hatch. I mean latch. And
all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I went over to Putnam Performance and had some Lexan trimming this afternoon.
Yep.
And that turned out fantastic. I went ahead and filed it down like you suggested, and I'm ready to put those back in. So another day or two, I think I'll be limited ready. Limited ready.
Moly. Woo.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a long ways behind to get limited ready, but that's a step. Getting rid of that monster. That was a big step,
right.
So.
Yeah, that's great. But I'm excited about it. I mean, Ultra Color just knocked it out at the park again. They called and said, "Hey, it's ready to pick up," and went over there Friday. It was even on Jason's birthday. You know what I mean?
Right.
Working hard over there, and got that knocked out for me, and I've been playing in the garage here as well, trying to get them ready, and I should have them hung by this week.
Cool.
Should be all right. I see September 6th and 7th coming our way.
Oh, yeah. Well, make sure you got room in the truck for a big check when you win that race. I'm predicting it.
I know that's right.
So you got some holding up to do. I'm predicting
You're stacking it on me.
I'm gonna get my winner's circle outfit ready and my spandex booty pants.
Woo! Spandex booty pants. You sound like Troy Weens when he had his little jumpsuit on, a banana suit. You right?
Yeah. Man.
Oh, that's funny right there.
Yeah. Tiffany is watching. Hello.
Oh,
Tiffany.
the patient. How's she doing?
Yes, she's good. She was at the pool
now,
for the.
Does she have a note from the doctor to say how many weeks you got to mow the grass?
Man, I hope not.
5, 6, 7, 8. Just the rest of the season.
I'll go over there and I'll shut that water off. That'll.
I tell you what. You just call a camera up. He'll come over and mow it.
I know he would.
That's it right there.
I'm out mowing yesterday afternoon, and neighbor guy across the street, he sends me another text. Hey, your lines are a little off. It's like, oh, come on.
She's got the B team in. Is that what he's saying?
I said, talk to my boss about that.
Yeah. That's funny.
I texted him back. I said, I'm not applying for a job here. Okay. I'm not.
Right.
Well, this isn't a full-time position.
Nice.
Yep.
Cool.
She's watching. Doug Baumgardner is watching. Hello, Doug.
What's up, Doug?
Jennifer Baker Briggs. Hello, Jennifer.
I see John trying to connect down there. It's not looking good.
I know. I see that. We're just hammering out some nonsense here until
that's all right.
Till he gets back in operation there.
Yeah.
But,
nope, it went out again. Hey, I do have something to say, and this is not my lane, but I felt since we got a second to talk about it, just shout out to the drag racing community, especially in the Wichita area. We went to Brian Weiss's dad's funeral on Friday, 1:00. We got there a little early to get a seat. At one point I turned around, only a few chairs left, a lot of O'Reillys, a lot of people, great service, a little social afterwards. So good job. James, we missed, had a good time racing with him. So just want to put a period on that. I know you're thinking of Brian. So if you need anything, let us know, B. All right.
Yep. Good service. Good. It was a good, I guess it's a good service. They called a service.
Yep.
It was good. Very good.
Yep. So did Scott Linker get a car?
I don't know. Did he? I see his old
one already. Is
there
some spy photos or something going on? He read the track?
No, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
He didn't send me anything this week.
I thought that was a done deal.
We'll just have to make something up. I don't know.
Right on. Okay, that's fine.
I did see the old car for sale already. There he is.
I did see that too in Florida. All right. Hit Shannon real quick.
There's Shannon Wise says, thank you to all that were there. We appreciate you all. You're welcome, Shannon.
Right on. You bet. Well, we got a good group showing here. You ready to dive into it? I see John's back with us.
Yep. We're see how this goes. See what he's got going on.
Okay.
Let's move us over here. Here we have Mr. John Sears.
How you doing,
hey guys?
John?
How's it going?
Okay? Good. How are you?
Yeah, can hear you just fine. I switched over. I dropped the laptop and said to heck with it, and I went back to the phone because the laptop was not cooperating, like we talked about a little bit at the beginning of the show.
Right.
Nice. Hear you good. See you good as well.
Yep. All right.
What
is this?
So, John, just to get started, like first we just want to say thank you for coming on. Appreciate Mike Peters with the idea and reaching out to us to start the group chat, and so we appreciate you taking the time to come on. We know you're a busy guy, and we collected some photos, and we just want to tell some stories like we do every week.
Man, I'm all about it. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome.
Right on.
Good.
All right, Gary.
So I see you guys got the Neil Chance background there. You guys good friends with Marty and those folks over there?
Yeah, the backstory on that. For me, I'll just talk about myself for a second. Gary's got his story too. But me and Marty grew up in the same town. So like he just was a block over from me. Like at 12 years old, we're riding bicycles. And so I would go look at Neil Chance's cool funny car, in the driveway, you know what I mean? And check that out and see Flip and Mitch Brown and everybody over there just hanging out. And but yeah, we just kind of hang around here in Hayesville and been running his converter for a little bit now.
He's a super good guy, man. We've been involved with them for quite some time, and a lot of support from Marty and Neil Chance, and it's just been a good relationship with those guys, and they put some good products out. The guys using them are usually at the top of the heap. So yeah, I've got much respect for those guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think Doug's on too right now, isn't it? Did you say Doug Bachman's watching?
Yeah, I seen a while ago. Doug was watching. Yep.
Yeah. So one of Marty's top guys out there. So.
Yep. And there's a Marty converter hanging right there.
I see it.
Right there.
Nice. Little bolt together.
Yep. Billet steel bolt together.
Right. Is there anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, there's that titanium unit,
Oh, the titanium, yes. And the power pump.
I think Rodney's got a couple of them hiding in the box.
Did you see him back there when I put the screen up? I kind of hide that stuff.
2 boxes. I won't tell. Nobody's watching. They won't know.
That's limited.
Oh, right.
It said G14 classified.
Right.
That's right. Cool.
This Jennifer Baker Briggs says, "Hi, Johnny."
Hello, Jennifer. Welcome to the show.
Nice. Yes. Well, let's kick it off. We usually start, John, with a little intro. We take it to the left. What got you into cars? Did you race in high school, or how'd you get the bug? Did you have a dad, uncle, or a friend down the street to go do that? Or that's kind of how we get started.
Yeah, it's kind of multifaceted deal there with my grandfather in New Jersey owning an auto parts store called J-Rod Auto Parts, and my dad worked there, worked a parts counter up front, and also they had multiple bays with mechanics in the back and things like that. So it was sort of in the blood, I guess you could say. And my dad exposed me to hot rods and cars and whatnot as I was growing up, and big fan of Super Chevy magazine and Hot Rod and Carcraft and all those different ones there. And as I got into my teens and messing around with dirt bikes and all that stuff, and bought a Nova early on and played with that, but always walked down the street to the guy that had a couple of hot rods. He had a LS6 Chevelle and a Chevy 2 and a W30 Oldsmobile and a Corvette in his garage. So he had pretty nice collection of cars down there, and I would go down there every now and again and ask him a bunch of questions and be that kid that was being a pest, and when he's trying to work on his car, and ask a bunch of questions and stuff like that. Ask him if I could help or learn or what have you. And he was a pretty good dude. I think sometimes I mowed his front yard just so he could get rid of me long enough to get done what he needed to get done. And then I'd come back and I go, all right, let's start. And he's, I'm already done now, but he was a pretty cool dude. Pretty cool guy. So yeah, that's kind of where the bug bit me, you're growing up in the late 70s and early and mid 80s and stuff as you're, getting through high school and getting out of high school and into young adulthood and everything else like that. And, the 80s were a pretty good time, the Buick Grand National coming out and EFI being added to a bunch of different performance cars and the 5-liter Mustangs and all that stuff that's out there. So, yeah, I was lucky enough to be around and see that stuff when it was new on the showroom floor. Just shows how old I am, I guess.
Sounds like we're right there with you.
We're not too far behind you. Hey, Larry Hunt, cool. Watching. Hello, Larry.
All right, Larry.
Larry Hunt. I did some snooping on your Facebook page.
Uh-oh.
And yes, and and you went to the Navy.
Oh man, yeah, that's Babyface John. Yep, Babyface John. I went in and I signed up in '83. Was in boot camp a couple days after high school, and worked on A6 intruders.
Awesome.
Shooting them off carrier decks, the Independence and the Forrestal.
Okay.
Engine run qualified and final checker. Yeah, that's a whole lot of horsepower right there.
Where'd you go to
lot
boot
of
camp
good,
at?
lot of good. I actually, I didn't go to Great Lakes or San Diego. I was in Orlando before they closed it.
Okay.
So, which was kind of wild. Somebody says, "Where'd you go to boot camp?" I said, "Orlando." They're like, "There's no boot camp in Orlando." Well, there was.
Yep.
There was. I did a stint there 4 years with them.
Yep.
Say again?
I went to boot camp in San Diego for the Navy.
Nice.
Oh man, what rate?
I was just a fireman and ended up in the engine room on board the ship in the boilers.
Oh man, it's a little warm down there.
It's a little hot. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
different kind of heat up on the flight deck with the jet blast.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we appreciate both your service, Gary and John.
Thank you. Appreciate you, John.
Thanks. Appreciate you guys, man. It's good stuff.
Yep. And
yeah, that's quite the picture, man.
A few years back.
So I also know that you ended up in the Air Force.
Yeah. I took a job with the Texas Air National Guard after getting out of the Navy as a full-time technician there in Houston at Ellington Field, and they were they had F4s, the C&D models with the J79. So as we were there for several years, we actually transitioned into the F-16, and I wound up working on the F-100, 200 Pratt & Whitney, as well as the F-16 aircraft in the engine shop. And that's a really good experience there, working in the test cell and getting to run engines across the test cell and, putting them in the burner and everything else like that was always a good time.
Awesome.
Nice. You do hot sections and that sort of thing?
Yeah. Yep. The turbine sections on the Pratt, everything is modular on those things. And unlike the J79s and the J52s that I worked. So it's a pretty easy deal. You just separate your sections in the modular setup, and whatever hours were dictated, depending on which section needed to be changed out. Literally, they would go back to basically an AIMD facility, that was run by civilians and stuff at Pratt, and they would send us new units. Every now and again, we would get into, taking them completely down. But more often than not, we were just doing mod changes and stuff like that on them.
Right on.
So as a kid, with loving the hot rods and stuff, did that also fuel your desire with this the engine side of the Air Force stuff? That all kind of.
Yeah. So I grew up in Homestead, Florida, just outside of Homestead Air Force Base. And as a kid, you're waiting on the bus, and depending on time of year, it would be dark. And, you know, every now and again, you would see a couple of Phantoms take off in full burner because they had an alert facility there. And you'd wind up watching those guys take off and light up the sky real early in the morning and stuff. And, you know, as a young guy, you're sitting there looking at that and you're like, man, that is really cool. That is something I'd like to be a part of.
Yes. That's right.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mike Peters says, thank you guys for your unselfish service to our country. And Larry Hunt says, thank you for your service, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mike and Larry.
Appreciate it, Mike and Larry. Yeah, I actually moved out of Texas and moved to Florida to become an automotive mechanic with the National Park Service in the early 90s, and joined a combat rescue unit there with C-130s and H-60 helicopters. So it's quite a transition going from, you know, straight jet into turboprop and those types of engines there, where, you know, you're dealing with a whole other assembly, not only the engine side of it, but the propeller and or the rotor assembly and the gearboxes and all that other stuff. So pretty diverse as far as what I've been exposed to in my career. I was lucky enough to finish out 23 plus years in 2007.
Wow.
And both, you know, active duty, reserve, and guard time. In 01, the combat rescue unit I was part of was activated right after 9/11. So the day after Thanksgiving in 2001, I was on my way to the Middle East, and I did 3 tours over there, plus 2 other trips where we took aircraft over. You know, that had just gotten out of a 750-hour phase, and we brought them over to the desert, picked up the aircraft that were due for phase, and brought them back. So it's part of the flight crew, you know, working with the crew chiefs and the other shops that would partake in flying over, just in case there was any issues with the aircraft when we were landing at different points along the way. You know, we would land in Crete. We would go to the source, refuel, you know, different things like that. So it's always good to have some folks on the aircraft itself that can actually fix it, you know, in case it breaks when we land, you know.
Right.
So pretty blessed to be a part of all that.
Very cool.
Your this was right off of your Facebook profile. Retired E7 at U.S. Air Force Reserve, retired at National Park Service, works at World Series of Pro Mod Competition Director, works at RTRA Championship Series, and former tech director at PDRA Racing. That's a pretty impressive a chunk of resume there.
That is a great resume. Golly.
You're a busy guy.
Yeah. That's I'm actually wearing my my Rockingham shirt today. That's where we finished out at like 3 o'clock this morning, and with our little limited street class. We allow a 235 tire over there, the little 26 8.5 like pro bracket radial. Our nitrous guys can run the 255 60 Mickey Thompson R tire, and then they can also run a 275 60, but it's got to be the SS style. So as you go up in tire size, you wind up probably you know, affecting traction in different conditions and things like that. But what it's done is it's kind of leveled the playing field out for us. Last night in the semis, going into the semis, It was a 491, 492, 493, and 494 out of the category. So they were stacked pretty tight in there, and the guys were, they had to get up on the tree and put it down. And in our finals, which was sort of anticlimactic, if you will, it was Louis Philippides, one of our regulars, was going up against Brad Shear, and Louis leaned on the tree a little bit much, went 009 red, but ran the fastest pass in the class of the weekend with a 488. Brad takes the win, and his car breaks like 300 feet out.
Oh man!
So, needless to say, Louis didn't want to talk a whole lot when we were done over there. And that was the second time that he's red lit against Brad consecutively in the finals. So I think he's due.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have a turbo or blower limit on that in limited?
Yeah, we run a spec 76 millimeter inlet and like a 113 X deucer on the turbocharger, and they got a little tiny turbine. So he runs a 365 inch LS piece. Okay. And then I think Brad is like a 363 small block Ford with the I believe it's the D1X or the P1X Pro Charger on that car.
Okay. Good parity.
Jimmy Harris says, "What's up, John Sears?"
Hey, Jimmy Harris, get that car done, man. We missed you last night. He's one of our limited guys. He's got a really nice orange convertible Fox body, nitro steel with BES power.
BES, I heard of that, Gary.
You think so? You know what that is?
I think I've heard of BES before.
Ford guy. Darce Laws says, "I'd say John hit that rule set. I love racing that tight, so intense to watch."
Yeah.
Jimmy says he's almost finished.
Excellent. That's good stuff.
Me too.
That's one of the things, when you look at rule sets, and you always want where it's going to come down to the car setup and the crew chief making the call and the driver, being diligent behind the wheel and doing his job. And if you can create a rule set that's that tight and that good, and it takes the actual rule maker out of the equation, that's always the goal. And when it's right and when it goes well and everything else like that, you'll never hear, that man, those rules are really good, man, really good job on that rules package. But if it's not right, you will definitely hear it. But I have to say, my limited guys and some of the guys of the other classes that we manage, within the last year or two, have been really good about sort of singing the praises of the work that goes into that stuff. There's a lot of negativity in the world, and people can be quite negative online and things of that nature there. And I got to say, these guys have been really good, and sort of helps fuel my passion and keeps me going.
Jimmy has a suggestion. He says nitrous cars need minus 100.
We got to get you out there, Jimmy, and see how fast you are before we give you a weight break.
All right. Well, before we get too deep into that kind of stuff now, let's roll back to, you sent some pictures of some old cars you've had.
Yeah. I've got quite the collection over the years. I've been fortunate enough. That's my sons and I hanging out in Texas at my in-laws' house. And that was right, it's probably 1990 time frame. And I bought that car with a Power Glide 6-cylinder 300 Deluxe rubber floor mat car. Didn't run. And I showed up with a starter and a new battery to the guy's place and put the starter and the battery in, gave him his money, and drove out of there. He was like, if that's all I knew it was going to be, I probably wouldn't have sold it for $600.
Oh man.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, I used that car as a commuter. And I was going to school up in Shepherd Air Force Base for a while. So I put the old Powerglide 6-cylinder to use, and down the highway we went for quite some time. Got it painted up and threw some rally wheels on it in that photo there. And at that point, you know, it was a lot of fun taking that car from that bone stock 6-cylinder Powerglide car through, you know, multiple phases and multiple engines and stuff. I think the way it sits there with the fresh white paint, and I had an SS hood on it at the time, and you know, you put the rally wheels on there and had a nice little small block in it. It was 355 gears in the back, a 12 bolt I wound up with. And, you know, if I could go back to that guy right now, I would smack him in his head for making any changes to it. Mind you, the changes were all good and it did go faster and everything else, but it sure was a lot of fun taking it to car shows as it sat right there.
Yeah.
and how drivable it was.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, quick question, and we can ask Cameron. I think he's on, but what color is that?
I'm not sure. It kind of looks like white.
Okay,
You just like me saying the word white. No,
looks
white,
good, John.
White,
looks
white.
real good. Looks
When
real
I say
good.
white is right, I don't know. Well, these white cars.
Yeah.
Well, it
Beautiful.
was white from the factory, and I didn't really want to deviate.
Yeah, Cameron. Yeah, Cameron says white is right. Shut up, Cameron. Who asked you? I guess Rodney did.
That's awesome.
Oh, Jimmy Harris said he's coming for that record.
We're waiting. We're waiting for him. We've been out and about this year with the RTRA, you know, the whole Radial Tire Racing Association, and we've really kind of expanded what we're doing with that, and I can't wait to get into that because there's a lot of good stuff coming up in the future. And again, what we're doing right now it'll be fun to talk about.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling.
Did this Chevelle make you a G body guy, or was you a G body guy before? Or
so I had like a little commuter Malibu back then as well, the little G body one, 6-cylinder, just driving it around. But I'm like 6'3" and 225, and I fit a little better in an A body than I do an F body or anything like that. So comfort's always king, right?
Right.
Is that a hold on a second, Gary, go back.
Oh.
Is that a square body back there across the street?
It probably is, yeah.
Looks
Yep.
like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
those
that.
things
There's
nowadays worth about, you know, 50,000. No motor, no training, no bed, no doors.
right. As long as the body's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a clunky Ford next door with a camper topper.
Is that?
Yeah, directly. I think the back end of AMC is sitting there.
That's what I was gonna say.
I
It looks
see
like a
that.
Matador or
Oh,
something
Yeah,
like that.
it's an AMC.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Cool.
Man.
What's Larry got?
Then you had to go to the darn racetrack, right?
Yeah, you know, you put stripes on them, and now you got to go fast, right?
And some Kragers or some Pro Stars or whatever those are.
Yeah, I put some Pro Stars on it, and actually there I found a deal on a fiberglass, small cowl hood and fenders and bumper, because as we all know, those A bodies are tanks, and man, the thing even then it was still 3,300 pounds with me in it.
Where's this at? Where's this track at here?
That's West Palm Beach in Florida.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You're behind a Fox body and in front of a Grand National, it looks like.
Yeah, that's my buddy Butch in the Grand National. I did all the work on that car for him. And we just made it into, it was pretty much bone stock when we got a hold of it, and it was like like an 1120 car when we got done with it, but still drivable, and you know, didn't beat up parts real bad or anything like that. So Chevelle was not quite as drivable in this context. It had 456 gears and 8-inch converter in it at the time.
Yeah,
I still drove it though. I didn't know any better.
Awesome. So how fast were you running right here?
So right there is probably like 1120s, 1150s, right around there. One of the small blocks that we wound up with was, you know, had an old Comp 292 hydraulic deal, and I think I had probably taken out one of the solid roller deals to freshen it up, and put this little hydraulic cam deal in there, and it actually responded really well and ran almost as good as the roller motor did, which kind of pissed me off.
Ain't that the truth?
And the date here says 97.
Yep.
August 3rd of 97.
Yep, August 3rd, 97. So if you see on the door of my car, that's a Turbo 6 emblem on it.
Yep.
And that was the shop that my friend and Wayne Cole, ran, and Wayne had a real fast, he had a 10-second GN back then, and called Straight Line Performance. So anybody that has Straight Line Performance that is after 97 has just certainly copied our name. But yep, that was something we did after hours, you know. You know, you work all day turning wrenches on cars for Uncle Sam, and you wind up going turning wrenches on cars for people you know and customers and things of that nature there, so you can keep a little warehouse open for your own stuff.
Yep. That's it.
And you sent us this. This was a love for the Buicks was with this.
Yeah. So that's those are near and dear to my heart, right? You watch pro stock in the 80s and everything else like that, and you see him run off old buddy Ingersoll, and you know they're upset that V6 was out there, you know, knocking them down left and right, and you know, competing real well against all the other bigger cubic inch stuff. And I always look at that and I said to myself, one day, man, if I ever get an opportunity, I really want to try racing turbo cars, which, you know, eventually came to fruition, which was really cool. But also just in the back of my mind, I had this thing about parity and, you know, why the NHRA is full of some really smart folks. And you got to wonder why they didn't want to try to make it work. And some days I really question them and their wisdom, you know, why they got rid of the V6. But when stuff is going sideways in some of the classes that I created, and I'm trying to get parity between turbos and nitrous and pro chargers and big blocks and small blocks and all that, I often look at the creation of a 500 cubic inch pro stock naturally aspirated piece at 2350 as perfect. Because there's not a lot of variables there, right? I mean, you know,
solved
as far as the combination goes. So on one side, the diversity of the program, which, you know, now you still get it in comp eliminator and everything else like that. But I was really, you know, a fan of pro stock, and wanted to see more diversity and stuff in there, because especially as tight as the fields always were and still are.
Yeah. Sure.
And you wanted your own T-type Grand National type, didn't you?
Yeah. I wound up with one. I got a great deal on that car. It's kind of being blocked by my old 65 El Camino I had. When we had to replace a couple of body panels behind the glass on that 65 El Camino there, we went and ordered doo-doo brown paint. It actually matched. That was literally, the guy went up there and he goes, "I need some doo-doo brown paint," and they were like, "Yeah, this'll do." and it actually matched pretty well. It was pretty funny. But the Buick was a lot of fun. That was a driver for a long time. Raced it often through a jack and slicks and tire tool and a little compressor in the trunk and drove it to the track and ran really well with it. Commuted with it often. Drove it the 3.5 hours to my reserve duty from Homestead to Melbourne, Florida. Sometimes we'd take off early and maybe we'd shoot over there to Orlando Speed World because that's fairly close to Melbourne where the Air Force Base was. You'd make you grab a buddy or something from the shop and you guys would go over there and make a couple passes in the car just to have something to do Saturday night rather than go out drinking and partying like a bunch of other dudes did.
Yep.
Right
if this was a pukey green El Camino, I would think Chuck Samuels was at your house visiting you.
Right?
Remember the old El Camino?
That was an amazing car for the time, wasn't it?
Right. Yes. Yep. And
yeah, I've always kind of had a love affair with him. Yeah, that's me with non-silver or white hair. And
hair.
Yeah.
That's coming for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time right there. We wound up going a couple rounds in the bracket race they had there. A lot of fun. Run? That one ran a low 11s. I never really wanted to beat them up too bad. I had to drive them. So not trying to lean on them. I mean, it would pick the tire up and leave and short time real well and everything else like that. So it was probably, I think the best we ever ran was probably like an 11, 25, 26, somewhere in there. But too much faster than that. You got to put a roll bar in them and all that other business. And, I didn't want to get there. I wanted to keep it, still had AC, the whole 9, power windows, door locks, cruise, all that business. And
I always wanted one of them, but I couldn't afford them. They were always pretty expensive.
Yeah, that was me in like late 86, 87, young guy in the military. I could have afforded the payment, but there was no way they were going to insure that thing for me.
No.
Not at a rate that I could afford anyway at, 20, 21 years old at the time.
Right.
But I was glad I was around for them to come back and the price be low enough that I could get into one and have a lot of fun with it. I'll probably wind up with one, at some other point in life, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
The pictures you sent, I tried to kind of guesstimate on some kind of chronological order, and also based off of the stories that you typed up a little bit. So would this be safe to say that's kind of next?
Yeah, that's definitely kind of next, because as I was messing with the Buicks, the Chevelle went to the paint shop, and that's actually a Buick color on it. It's a 85 GM medium gray metallic or something like that.
Cool.
And I picked that out because it looked really good on the Buicks, and the T-Type that I own, that was the original color of it. The guy I bought it from painted it black, but that was the actual. So we used the same paint code from the T-Type to put on the Chevelle, and so it wound up with new wheels and tires and paint, and, a little bit taller cowl hood, and wound up with new floors and a cage in it, and a fresh power plant. But once again, still trying to take into account driving the car and enjoying the car as much as possible. That was always one of the key things, was to keep it something that I could actually drive.
Right.
Yeah.
There it is. Is that it on the track? The same car?
Yeah, that's it in the track in Orlando. When it underwent the the changes and stuff like that. That's where I met Mike Peters. We were doing some suspension upgrades to it, and we made some changes. Put some, went old school with the Moroso springs in the front and the rear, and airbag and whatnot in the right rear, because anti-rolls weren't really, much of a thing back then, and it had Southside machine bars on it and whatnot. And the comp engineering shocks that I had on there were kind of beat, and Mike was selling some stuff online, and I think it was Motorsports Marketplace back in the day on Heads Up Review. And that's how Mike Peters and I met. And I bought the Hal shocks from him, and I wound up going out there and visiting him and seeing how they did things at the Midwest radial deal that they had going on. And he came and hung out at this particular race in Orlando with us, and we beat up the chassis pretty good there, trying to get that thing to go down with off the foot brake, with a turbo 350, an 8-inch converter, 456 gears, and a 295/65 BFG. And I think it's 60 footed at the time, like in the high 130s, low 140s. And we wound up going like 1027 at 131, something like that, to qualify for the radial field there, which was just really cool. It didn't even matter to me to win or anything else like that. I had been going to the Orlando race for a number of years, and just to be able to get out there and kind of be part of it was what the goal was. The ET and mile an hour and bests, career bests that we did at the time for that car. That was just kind of icing on the cake.
Yeah.
If you only knew then what you know now, right?
Yeah, I probably would have saved all my money.
No doubt. We're not that smart.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It was.
You made a good point.
I
there, John,
I
too.
try not to think of those things, right? Like it comes up in conversation. Hey, how much money over the years do you think? I don't want to know.
All of it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There was some bad decisions made and no alcohol involved.
Mike Peters says that was an awesome time.
It was. It was. We had a
early 2000s range.
Yeah, I want to say that was probably it was probably like 99 or 2000. When we did that. And we literally just to try to get noticed or whatever. My oldest son had a shirt that said Pat McCrotch on it, and I didn't let him go to school with it, but I kept it, and it fit me. So I kept it. And put that as the driver's name on the car, just so we could get Al Tucci to recognize, to at least say something about the car, whatever, and then of course it grew to the crew chief being, Phil Matestes and Holden McGroin and all that other business on the other window. Yeah, there you go.
Holden McGroin and Phil Matestes.
Yeah, like we had no sense. We had no sense.
That is hilarious.
It was a good time. You can see we added like a little checkerboard there on the side of the car. That was kind of to pay homage to Mike Bowman's car,
right?
From the Fastest Street Car Shootout stuff. But I'm not quite the flashy guy that Mike is, so it was a little more subdued with what we did. But you can see it in the picture there.
Yeah.
And if you came around here, you probably around an MSRA race, I would guess.
Yes.
Up here, our local Wichita track.
Absolutely.
Rod, you might have been racing there, Rod.
I was actually. Did you come to a couple of those events?
Yeah. We've I've been to 2 of those events out there.
What track were you at?
WIR.
Yep.
Right on. Okay, yeah, definitely. We were there.
Would you be in yellow Camaro or the white Mustang?
No, the yellow Camaro.
Okay.
In Super Street.
Yep.
Yeah, I took a ton of pictures when I was there and posted them up all over different websites and stuff. It was a good time. It was a good time getting, when you get out of your own, area, like I'm an East Coast guy, and you get out of your own area and you get to go to some other places, Kansas. You go out there and you see there's so many more old school muscle car, GM and stuff like that. Whereas on the East Coast, it's friggin' Fox Body Central. No offense, but good Lord, that's I've never seen more Fox bodies than when you go to like Rockingham, 10, 15 years ago. Everybody had a Fox body and they all had small box Chevys in them. It was crazy the amount of Fox bodies that were out there. But it's I've been out to the Streetcar Supernats in Vegas a couple of times, and getting to see different cars and it's really cool that the amount of traditional muscle cars out there that are still being drag raced and how well they're being maintained and kept and everything else like that for hopefully the next generation.
Absolutely. Well said.
Are you familiar with US 19 Dragway outside of Albany, Georgia?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. The shutdown on that racetrack runs through a RV park.
Right.
You know that? Okay. My mother lived there from like 1981 until 2015. She lived in that RV park.
No kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So when I was a kid in the 80s, when I'd go down there, my parents divorced and she moved down there, and I was here in Kansas. So we'd go down there to visit in the summer. The fence from her house to the fence beside the return road was just, I don't know, maybe a 40-yard walk. So I'd take a big cup of tea and my little Kodak 120 camera, and I'd stand at that fence, and they'd be on the slow down by the time they got past me, and when they'd go by, I'd take pictures. And I had a crap load of pictures that I took back then, and I think I got rid of all those when I moved from Salina to Wichita here. But sometimes I wish I still had some of them pictures to go look at. But I stood there in the summer and I just snap pictures all day long and drink tea and watch these cars. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I've got plastic containers just full of pictures that if I ever sat down and put them together in a photo album, in some sort of chronological order or something like that would be pretty good. Thinking about that stuff, you're like, I'll get to it. And well, here we are, we're a couple weeks out from the fastest streetcar reunion going on in Iowa, that Brian Havoc put together. And, it's at, Tri-State Dragway there in Iowa. And I'm heading out there just because, I'm a junkie for that stuff. And that's pretty much what ruined me as far as heads up racing goes.
Yep.
That's what started the addiction, I guess you could say. But I've got tons of pictures from back then, when they were still, when it was still really big with NMCA, right? With all those classes that they were running and all that stuff right there. I've got, pictures from there, West Palm Beach, Orlando, Atlanta, No Problem Raceway, over there in Shreveport, Rockingham and a bunch of other things like that I've got. And I see, is that a photo album?
Looks like.
These are from the magazines.
Right.
This is like the Hot Rods, the Car Craft, Chevy Hot Performance. Any of that stuff that dealt with the heads up racing car shootout stuff, I clipped out of the magazines and put in these binders.
Wow.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff.
Hey, John, you remember Stan Shaw in the 57? He sold to Tony
I do.
Christian.
The
motor of that we got, and we had in that little Camaro that I had.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
actually, when
Warren Johnson built.
When I was at WIR, Tony was there actually.
Yeah.
At the event that I went to.
Yeah.
So did you guys get that motor? Is that the exact motor?
Huh?
Is that the motor that you guys got? Was it like a 665 or something?
No, it was a 648 oval bill headed 14 degree mag. Just a second.
John, I was thinking about these binders I got. And if you're racing like the NMCA stuff or whatever back then, I thought I bet I could flip through those because they had like classes and results and stuff. I thought I could flip through there and find your name in some of those.
Yeah, I would probably be in a couple of the ones from NSCA. And then when NSCA and NMCA merged, I was at their Atlanta event and raced there.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good time. Good time to be on the cusp of all that stuff.
Darce Law says, I'll be there. He's talking about that reunion.
Yeah, that's going to be a great race, Stud. My buddy Keith Roberts owns a lot of those old cars, like the Monty Burney car and Tony Christian's car. And I don't know if you guys keep up with Brian Havlick or not, but he's got the old Bob Rigger.
Bob Rigger. Yep.
Yeah.
Twin turbo.
Well, here's the
57 motor sitting in the shop right now. Oh, wow.
That was it.
Yeah, it's been a minute, right?
And we had it in this car here.
Dar says that's what ruined
I
us.
have pictures of that car.
Absolutely. You need to dig up them pictures from that race. I'd like to see some of those.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get them together.
Small world, right?
Jennifer says hot
Street.
Is that the class she's racing in, Hot Street?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that was that all motor deal. All motor small box. That was a pretty wild class. Everybody's they were running that's when I kind of got exposed to the 18-degree stuff and whatnot on small box. That was wild. They were and that back then. One of the things that kind of deterred me from running with NMCA back then was the level of tech those guys did. They did not mess around, man. They were breaking people down on a Saturday night, going into eliminations on Sunday, and you were like, "Holy cow! Who wants to be here till 3 o'clock in the morning putting my shit back together?"
No kidding.
So I can make first round. Just because I set the class record doesn't mean I get. You got to pull the heads off the damn thing.
Right.
But they did. They ran a really tight ship over there, and they still have a good program over there, as evident by their success at 131. A couple weekends ago.
And Mike says Tony Christian and Mike Moran. I remember Mike Moran at that Wichita also that day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Jennifer Baker Briggs. I was there with my car. This race.
Right. It's pretty wild.
What's that?
Pretty wild.
Moran was there in the Monte Carlo, wasn't it?
I think he had the Camaro Casper.
Yep.
I remember he came in the Monte Carlo.
Right.
But yeah, I remember that. I remember that now for Casper. He came back in the Monte.
Didn't Wayne Roberts kind of put that stuff together because he would go down to Orlando to that race down there and
yep.
He had Casper.
Yeah, he was the owner of WIR, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I thought.
Around racing Pro Mod. Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep. For him, man.
Series, what he runs. He's
got a Pro Mod Corvette he races around here. He's still hammering it.
Heck yeah. That's good stuff. Good stuff.
There's this picture here. There's Mike. Who's these other cats? You in the middle, and that's Mike there in the black shirt.
Yeah, that's so the big guy in the white hat, that was Fish. And then my buddy John Cruz, then Mike Peters, then myself, then my buddy Mark Painter, and then my buddy Wayne Cole. And Wayne Cole was the guy that I had to shop with. He had the real fast Grand National. And then and him and I worked together on Buicks all the time. And he actually bought that car new. He's a retired firefighter paramedic. And he still has the car and still takes it out.
Nice.
Well, yeah. Which one of them was Holden McGroin and Phil McKesty?
It was a potluck sort of thing. Whoever was standing close to the car, they would assume that role.
Whoever looked guilty.
All of them. All 6 of us, just definitely guilty. Definitely guilty of drinking too much Red Dog beer that weekend and spraying too much nitrous.
And that little deal you're holding, that's the one that says Pat McCrotch Racing Team or something like that.
Yeah. And I think I wrote on cardboard with a black marker what we ran ET wise and everything. Who knew, back then, that taking that picture there would have such a cool nostalgia feel.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
That it's funny. You look at the canopy behind there. That's one of those damn galvanized ones that, have 300 pieces to it. Yeah. And you better remember how it all goes together. And the sad thing is I think I still have all those pieces. The tarp is no longer in existence, but I still have all those pieces.
Yeah.
Now you got those 10x10s that popped right up. 10x20s.
Yep. 10x10s and 10x20s. They're just so much more easy and compact and everything else like that. But hey, man, we were there with a little, I think we had a 2500 series Suburban and a 24-foot enclosed Hallmark trailer, and drove the car back. There wasn't nobody down there with a 4-wheeler to tow that thing back. It's a street car shootout. We weren't fast, but we still drove everywhere, drove to the lanes and drove back from our past and everything else.
Yep. There's the Chevelle on an open trailer.
Yeah, so this is another Chevelle. This is another one that a buddy and I are in partnership on, and this car is in my possession, and I've got a couple of engines that are probably going to be going in there, so I can just take it on an open trailer and just make some laps. Just get back into the groove before I get back into my my Malibu, and I actually have the engine that was in the gray car getting freshened up right now. I'm going to try to put it in this black car and then go there and run the basic setup that we had in the gray car from way back when and see if we can eclipse that team on it or with that stage.
Is he frozen?
Shot.
Yeah, I cut out a little bit. There we go.
Are you there, John?
Cut out a little bit, I think. Yep, I'm there.
You sounded like a robot.
Here it is. Yeah, it's probably that echo that we're talking about. Any better?
Are you there? Yep. Are you froze?
Yep. Yeah, both of you guys are.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Reboot.
Well,
let's catch up on some comments here. Mike says 1027 doesn't sound quick, but Troy Perez was at the top of the class in the mid to high nines. Woo. Well, if that, if you go 140, 60 foot and you could chop a couple tenths off of that, you'd put it in the high nines. Woo.
Heck yeah.
Jimmy Harris says, I'm going to call tech on John's Wi-Fi. Emergency, go now.
Yeah. It needs hardwired.
Oh, man.
Do you remember Rod's, is it Salisbury?
Savory.
Rod right? Savory.
Yep.
Yeah, he had the Corvette, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I remember that was an all motor deal.
Yep. Was that big 700-inch Fulton deal?
Yeah.
Yep. Darce Laws. How you doing, Darce? I seen Tim Alt was creeping on here a little bit, Darce. Devin Brown watching. Hey, Devin. Jeff Dickey. We got some aliens have beamed up John real quick.
Yeah.
Wait for him to spit him back out. Come on. Yeah,
he's bringing back some memories there, right?
Oh man, I'd love to see the pictures he took from Wichita when he was here, dude. The cars that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Your car, the guy had the dudes from Colorado and their cars,
right? Yep. Brian Brooks, and and then Stan was out there as well that weekend, and then Purple Camaro, and
Eric Summers watching. Hey, Eric,
that was good stuff.
Yeah,
and then they're having a reunion, right? When is that coming up?
It's in he said a couple weeks. It's in August. It's at a track up in Iowa.
Okay. Yeah.
Devin Brown, what's up, big dog?
What's up, Dev?
John has disappeared. He is missing in action right now.
Yeah. Devin's probably getting ready for the hot summer nights next week.
Hot summer nights coming up. Yep.
I see Jake Mason's going. Heckman.
It's gonna be hot summer week all week, I think.
Well, it's about 120, 125 degrees.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hot.
Jennifer
says John Sears is always hot. He was so good for like an hour. It was good. Eric says, "What's up, boys? I was going to go that Iowa race, but had to change plans. I'd like to go too, but I need to keep working on stuff."
Yeah.
Yep. And I imagine it's going to be pretty packed and busy. There'll be some cool stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of, like, remember Sparrow Pappas's car?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Chuck Samuel's getting fuel injection. You know, that was a big turn then. I remember, you know, Billy Glidden there, and golly, some of the names there. I think you said Scavo earlier.
Yep.
Who else?
Yeah, that 10.5-inch tire Super Street class, man, that just wow, man, that fired me up. Those just you know, the way the cars looked and the 10-inch tire, that was awesome. They look so good, really cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, and Jimmy Keene. Yeah, you know, it's like the first
Mustang
Igloo
colors.
that came out. Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Gary, who had the SB2 Corvette, I think wasn't that Gaglione? Nick Gaglione?
Nick Gaglione, yeah. The black one. Yeah.
Black. I don't know what year them vets are, but
yeah. Wasn't he from Northeast, New York, New Jersey?
Or Chicago area.
Was it Chicago?
Remember.
Yeah.
Maybe. Darcy's doing good. Driving home from the Oldsmobile Nationals. Great show with John. Great memories for our generation. Thanks for keeping me awake. Tell Tim no bracket racers on here. Hey, Darce, I thought you'd want to give Tim a message like this. This is a message for Tim. when we find, and you'll find out this year, I guess, maybe, I don't remember if we did last year, but when we see Darce at PRI, me and Darce will take a selfie and
with the middle finger
saying hi to Tim. Hi, Tim.
Oh, that's funny.
Darce was in, was that in Ozark, Darce, the Oldsmobile Nationals? I know you talked about it last week. I forget where it was at.
Right.
Jennifer says it was a good time race there in 1992 with Joey Yotuma's car. And if anybody remembers Joey Yotuma's car, Hot Rod magazine cover with the hood,
the flame. Yeah, I remember that.
Up in the flames. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right there. She says that his scoop was on the cover of Hot Rod magazine. There.
That's it. That's it.
Springfield. Yep. He was at Craven's track.
That's it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. Where are you at now, Darce? You let's see if he was in Springfield. I'm gonna guess you're probably in Colorado, maybe by now. Ozark Racing did an awesome job. I about flipped my G body. Holy cow, doing some wheelies.
What's up?
Doing some wheelies, huh?
Wheelie time.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
The chicks dig the wheelies, okay?
Oh yeah. They usually don't make it to the winter circle, but you know, they did the wheelies.
Oh, you're in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Only 2 hours from home.
That's nice. You're getting good. Hey, I didn't see John hit us a message. What was he saying?
Oh, is that? Let me check here. I think that was actually Mike asking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he says he's working on it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep, no biggie. Oh, bow. Right on. Well,
man, speaking of the MSRA days for a second.
Yeah.
When Trey Stoll and, oh my goodness, Shane Gilstrap started that deal, you know, racing with that. Oh, yeah. Some good times, man. Good times. Yeah. We used to race with Trey down in the local street scene. He had a 67 Mustang, 351 dart heads, a little nitrous. You know, it went in the 10s. Yeah.
There's all kinds of cool stuff in here.
Yeah.
Real Street, Hot Street. That's 97. This would have been a little after that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
She said like 90.
Yeah. Tony's got it right. War Pony.
War Pony.
Yeah. That was a fast car back then, man. Super fast. Little coupe. Really nice.
Catch Eric's question there.
Yeah.
Right underneath Tony.
Oh yeah. It went 795, 175 back then in 99, 2000. It went 514 at 141 in the 8th. Low 1.2, 60 foot. But it was we just ran a little kit with it, you know, to be honest with you. But it was a good time.
Yeah. Jason Carter's Malibu 1 Super Street. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I need to get to 98. I'm getting closer.
Joe's better, man. That's a name right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe's better. Remember that back in the day, World Fords. Yeah, that's right. Darcy's right. Live footage every month.
Yes.
Ain't that the truth? Oh my goodness.
Dun, dun, dun. This would be funny if I find some shit in here with
Yeah, Larry Hunt's talking about
Larry.
Titans of 10-5.
Right on.
Bon Terre and Tulsa. August 16th, 17th for Bon Terre and September 6th and 7th for Tulsa.
Larry, you can go ahead and put Rodney's name on that limited check. That's ROD.
All the weight on the shoulders. All the weight.
DOWELL.
Yeah. Yeah, Larry, it's official. I got all the parts to be limited ready. So I just got a little work to do. Yeah. That's funny.
Maybe this is why Mike Peters said we might need to do a couple shows.
Couple episodes, yeah.
Let's see.
Oh yeah. Mike's talking about the first bolt together. Yeah.
Mike says that was the first time I knew anything about a bolt together converter. Carter had one of Marty's in the Malibu, and they made a stator change at the track. That was probably like space age shit back then.
Oh yeah.
What are they doing,
science, man?
Holy cow.
Holy, you can't do that.
They tore it
You have
apart.
to send that in.
Their converter blew up. We're gonna win.
Yeah, it's got two halves perfectly cut.
That's right.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't see without my glasses on.
What you looking for?
I'll just see if I could find like class results from
right on
where he was at here, because I got all that stuff in these books.
Yeah.
I got tons.
Here's a comment.
Jennifer Briggs says, I told John I was going to have to entertain you with my knowledge if he doesn't hurry up and get back. There he is.
He's back on.
He heard you. He's right there. Let's see. Hi, John.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. You know, it's one of the non-benefits of living in the sticks. But it looks like there's been some movement in the fiber optic world down the street. So maybe within the next couple of weeks, I'll be, in 2005 and have fiber optic.
We got, where was that?
So I think we were talking about the black car getting one of the engines out of the shop, and see if we can't duplicate our efforts from way back when. So that should be a good time. Maybe I can get Mike to fly out and help me on the car.
I bet he would. Okay. And that's that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's the black car again. That was at Bud's Creek. and we ran in. Do you guys remember the old Nate Pritchett 1320 series that he had?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yes. So we were out there running with them, and God, this would have to be 2008 or 9 time frame with that car there, and it
Mike's
was
got his plane ticket. Mike has his plane ticket. He's bringing the whole saws.
Oh man, that guy right there, he will Swiss cheese the hell out of that poor car. It's pretty dang good. But yeah, we ran with Nate Pritchett and his brother Adam back then, and we had a whole lot of fun. Traveling with those guys and racing and working tech, and they had a lot of input in X275 when we first started that whole deal there. That right there, that was Immokalee, Florida, with the Chevelle, and that's on a little bit of nitrous there with a little bit of a delay in it, but it's got a fiberglass hood, and that's the only lightweight part that there is about that car. And I think that was that's probably with a little 383 that we put together for that one on a little bit of the sauce, and it went like, I don't know, 620s in the 8th or something like that.
Right on.
So we would back it up and
to have
run.
Masters.
Well, of course. Yep, we backed it up a little bit, and that's running 650 index in Bradenton back in the day. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. That to me is like one of the cleanest classes out there, as far as just not needing a license and not needing a full roll cage and all the other stuff that you need, once you go quicker than 10.0 or 639, you go 650s, and it's still fast enough to have a little bit of fun. And if you're a budget oriented guy or something like that, it's still fun. As you can see in the car, it still goes wheels up. We all want to go faster, because we're addicted, but as far as, something that's affordable and fun and, the average Joe can do, that's what we developed, that 650 deal down in Florida. And it was on a radial tire. We didn't allow bracket cars to get in there and delay boxes and all that other nonsense. It was for just fast street cars. And eventually, car counts dwindled and they started allowing the bracket cars in, and that pushed out all the small tire guys. A lot of those guys went into Ultra Street or X275.
Was this a BFG tire still back then, or is Mickey Thompson out by then?
No, man, I had BFGs on that car for quite a while, and then we put what I call the OG Mickey on it, which is pretty much like the SS tire, and that's what we ran that Chevelle on. So it left really well on that tire.
Yeah.
Still drivable. There it is right there, sitting next to my street car.
You got a couple of them covered up, top secret cars over there.
Yeah, there's I would probably say one is the 68 El Camino back there, and then the other one is probably 68 Camaro.
Oh,
Under the cover.
Right on.
Jared Johnson's here watching. Big Daddy John Sears, he says.
Jared, he's the man. He's got one bad X275 car.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
We got him back out this year, man, which is just awesome. I think he just got married too, didn't he? He can probably confirm that.
Yeah, remember?
Yep, that's what I thought. Yep, congratulations.
Yep.
Right on. Good job,
They
Jared.
were talking about it at Flying H.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Jared says wait until the updates.
Ooh.
Oh man, can't wait. Can't wait.
Newly married, new car smell.
It's good stuff.
Oh man,
That's
Jared.
funny. John, have you heard about the new facility here in Odessa,
Yeah, Flying
Missouri?
H is a pretty good. I know Blake Housley, and from running pro mods and stuff like that, and down in Snowbirds and World Series of Pro Mod and U.S. Street Nationals and stuff. And earlier this year, RTRA had our tech Jennifer Briggs there working with the MPK group and work with them quite closely. And Blake and a couple of the guys down there worked through some scale issues and stuff, and that was a pretty cool deal there for them to be able to get MPK in there, that early in their opening schedule and stuff like that.
Yeah. And we've been there twice,
and we're going back in a couple weeks, I think.
There you go.
I hear it is smooth as glass out there.
I think it said it best, so it's smooth and level as a pool table.
Yep. Yeah. And that was Mark Mickey going out there with his pro mod. That's who I saw made a bunch of remarks on Facebook and stuff like that about how smooth that track and that surface is.
Yeah.
So hats off to those guys for putting together a great facility.
Yeah.
Jared says we're coming to SGMP to play spoiler, and we aren't here for points.
Nice.
We're
not here to make friends. We're just here to cash the check.
That's right. Cash the check and break the necks. El Camino.
Yeah.
All these cars yours.
Yeah, there she is. The old 68. Yep. That one I just sold. Sold that one. Yep. I made a package deal to somebody, that El Camino and a 63 Chevy truck. And down the road they went.
This?
Yep. Yep. I had that at a shop. Some folks had it for quite some time, and when I went to pick it up, it did not look quite like that. So when I got it home, it was I don't know, kind of tugging at my heartstrings as far as what it looked like. And I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to keep it, if I'm going to stay on it. And I've got, some other projects and not a lot of time at home and stuff like that. So working on the projects and getting them done, or, even getting them started and whatnot, is often difficult. Sometimes you got to make the right decision to let them go. And that way you can move on to bigger and better things in the end,
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing, Rodney. I'm letting it go.
Let it go. Move on to bigger and better.
It's not bigger and better, but it's going to go. Jared has a interesting question. We'll talk more about this later, but he says, when's the first 3-second pass going to happen in X?
Never.
Oh, there you go.
Never. Challenge accepted,
Never.
Jared says.
Right. I say that completely in jest, because in the first year we started, the damn record was a 4:30, and I should say a 5:30, set by my buddy Randy Van Raden back in 2008-9 timeframe, and the little 2J 240 white rice car went out there and went 4:03. So never say never, but I'm going to say never.
Yeah. If it can go 4:03, it can probably go 3:99.
Man, I tell you.
Probably.
Right?
Probably. Yep. I would agree.
I think this was like 2001. It looks like on the bottom there, Chevy High Performance, a little magazine action for you, a little write up.
Yeah. I met Jeff Smith at the NMCA event, in West Palm Beach, and we had switched a car over to a dart head and a solid flat tappet, and I knew he was a small block guy from way back, so we kind of gelled and we're talking, and he asked me if I had a car there, and I said yeah, and I took him over to it, and started relaying some stuff that we had done to the car and whatnot, and he was pretty interested, and he goes, can you give me enough for a write-up? And he goes, come see me tomorrow, and he goes, we'll take a bunch of pictures. And that wound up being a pretty cool article in 01 about the car. And I don't think you can zoom in that well, but if you zoom in on that knucklehead wearing the t-shirt there, that t-shirt says Pat McCrotch in the Chevy High Performance magazine. That's the shirt that I wouldn't let my son wear to school.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so I thought it was quite fitting for the magazine article for sure. Got to have a sense of humor sometimes,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I've got it on my screen like completely blowed up, and it gets kind of distorted. You can just see it's got some white lettering, but that's funny.
Yeah.
Better cameras nowadays might have caught that.
I'm sure they would have. A couple people that know me actually, when they saw the magazine article, called me up and was like, nice shirt, buddy. I was like, yeah.
Hey, Gary.
Yes.
Let's pause for station identification.
Right on, man. Time gets away, doesn't it? Let me go to here. Give a shout out to our partners: Mid-America Dragway, Ultra Color Collision Repair, Harry Street Carpet, and Sandlin Iron and Metal, our awesome partners in 2024. Thank you very much to all of those companies.
How many did you say we picked up this week? 5?
5 subscribers this week.
Right on,
and
right on.
While we're at it, if you catch YouTube and you see this little looking picture stuff, that's us. And you'll see on the bottom right hand corner the little white box, the green arrow is pointing to it. That's the little subscribe tab. It's super easy, so snatch a hold of that. The little curve, it's over there. That arrow says it's over there. I'm being kind of dumb with it now, but you get the idea. Right.
Right on. All right.
All right. And this is a black Malibu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an 80 Malibu, and I think I gave you guys a picture of it when it was white, and it's kind of sitting in the same driveway that the El Camino and the T-Type were, and it was a little crusty in that photo, I'm sure.
I think I got that picture.
But that particular picture there, we had been quite involved with the stuff going on at Immokalee and the 650 index stuff. We got kicked off, and the stock suspension shootouts, and they used to have stock suspension shootout on Fridays and Saturdays, and the Friday deal was just like a Fast Friday shootout, and you would draw cards for pairs. You get like a little shakedown off the trailer, and then you would draw cards, and you would wind up pairing up with whoever had your card. If you were 6 of hearts and he was a 6 of diamonds, off you two went, and you guys were paired up and ready to go. And that's kind of how they ran that whole program on Friday night. But then when we were doing the stock suspension shootouts, it got more into qualifying and ladders and things of that nature there. And I was pretty heavily involved with that stuff, going out there, not only racing, but helping with the rule set. And back then it was super simple. It was 10 rules. And like rule number 10 was like, if you don't like the first 9, you don't have to come, that kind of thing.
Stay home.
So I thought that was a pretty cool deal there. And so we had raced the black Chevelle there at Immokalee before, and the Malibu that's in the picture that you guys have up right now We also raced that there as well. And in 2007, I got a job in Virginia, and we moved from Florida, South Florida, to Virginia. And looking at all their programs up there, nobody was running 8th mile. They're all running 1/4 mile. So I took the poor little 23-degree headed nitrous small block deal in that black Malibu, and I would go to Maryland International Raceway and run in their real street category. And there is nothing wrong with a nitrous small block car unless it's lined up against a twin turbo big block car and you're running 1/4 mile.
Bad deal.
It's
bad
not
news.
a good day. It's not a good day. And so I would just go out there to, run a personal best, or, work on the car, tune on the car, just in case we decided to take it south or what have you, and with the 8th mile stuff that we were doing down in Florida, I would go back in the wintertime, and we would do some things at Immokalee or Bradenton and whatnot. And I was like, man, I said, I'd really love to be able to race some 8th mile stuff closer to home. And that's kind of how X275 started, was with nitrous small block cars not really having a place in outlaw drag radial or the whole Maryland real street deal and stuff like that. There was really no room for them. So we kind of kicked off that deal with the OSBA, which is the shirt I'm wearing in this picture, and that's the Outlaw Small Block Association. And through some contacts and stuff like that, we've got them to hold a race at Virginia Motorsports Park. And he was like, I'll guarantee, 800 to win and 400 to runner up if you can get me 8 cars. Well, we got 8 cars, but one of them was mine. And so I had to try to help look the cars over, run the race, and do whatever. So I got on Yellow Bullet, and I'm like, hey, I'm new to the area. I'm trying to do this thing at Virginia Motorsports Park on 275 tires. And would anybody, is anybody, into this kind of thing? And would you guys like to come out and give us a hand? Well, the 2 guys standing beside me, the guy in the red shirt is Ben Dinkle, and the guy to my right in the photo is Randy Van Raden. And I'm still friends with those guys to this day. And they helped me turn the car around while I was pairing cars or doing ladders or doing whatever, because we were sort of freewheeling it with this whole deal. And it sort of escalated from there. And back then, nobody up in Virginia was running the Hoosier tire. And I have Hoosiers, 275/60 Hoosiers on that car. And I wound up runner up at that race to a guy named Shelly Smith, who's still friends with today and still talk, and actually owns a repair shop that I took my diesel down and had some work done on it and whatnot. So the affiliation is still there from 2008, 2009 timeframe, and that's sort of what kicked things off. With X275, trying to get some nitrous small block cars an opportunity to do some racing and whatnot. And through my son's video efforts of Florida Real Street, or not Florida Real Street, but the Real Street at Maryland, and a discussion with Jason Miller up there, and then a discussion with Nate Pritchett and Adam Pritchett, and we all sat down one day at a Pizza Hut and actually developed the X275 rules, the first go round. And they picked us up in their 1320 thing, and we actually carried them because the car count in X for those couple years that we worked with those guys was bigger than all the other classes combined. We actually put 48 cars out into 3 separate 16-car fields, a gold, silver, and bronze deal with those guys. And we were running for pennies in comparison to what these guys run for today. So
sure.
it was a really good opportunity to get some stuff going on down there, in the Virginia, Maryland area. You look at the opportunity they gave us. So this was like the 2008, 2009 timeframe, and we kicked X off and got on the whole thing with Donald Long and with a small class that I had developed before I left Florida, which is called Florida Real Street, which is essentially the same rule package I'm running now in Limited Street, 235, 255 deal. So it's kind of funny how that stuff that we started with is, we're still doing it and we're still back at it, but everything else has grown and morphed and, to some super fast classes and things like that. But without the opportunities presented me, by the folks that worked at VMP and worked with VMP, and then Jason Miller at Budds Creek, I don't think, we would have been able to kick it off and be as successful as we would. And I don't think that, without Florida Real Street, X275 wouldn't even exist. So it was a good segue to get us into the whole lights out, no mercy, Donald Long stuff that was going on down there. And I essentially fell into the tech position by default because nobody wanted to look at, they look at the rules and they're like, man, we don't want to check all that shit. Well, I'll check it. I'll do it. I don't care. Who's going to look at my car? That's all I want to know, because I'm still going to race.
Jared Johnson asked, Shelly had a red Fox body, right?
Absolutely. He still has that car to this day.
There you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. Still, I think it's got a Kuntz piece in it.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Good unit. Good unit for sure. So yeah, that's kind of how that whole thing developed. It was almost, one out of necessity with trying to run quarter mile. And, you go to a quarter mile facility like Budds Creek, and Royce and Jason and all those guys there were like, we're strictly quarter mile here. And I'm like, well, can you let us run the 8th? And they gave us a Sunday afternoon once a month to go out there, and we would run for tech card money. That's how that stuff started. Wow. And then we kind of picked up steam, and there's a group down here that owns the Colonial Beach Dragway, Larry's Custom Tees. Him and his business partner, Monster Jones, and the racing stuff, those guys gave us an opportunity to be at one of their races. And it didn't look like we were going to get the car count we needed. So we kind of went back to the drawing board and brought some big block nitrous cars in and some turbo cars and some Pro Charge cars. And that sort of, in essence, kind of kicked off the diversity within X275 rather than just a small block nitrous deal. Because small block nitrous guys are kind of finicky.
Hey, let's talk about the first meeting with you and Donald.
Donald put on a 5,000 at Sunshine that Dave Reese and Shane Stack went in the final. And 5,000 for a radial race was unheard time. I was still living in Florida, and was like, man, this stuff is really going to take the big cheese in Orlando. Orlando for radial tire cars. And that's the whole, radial tire revolution and radial tire. And this country, man, I fell into that portion of it by default when the street races and nobody wanted to look at jets, and nobody wanted to measure turbos, and nobody wanted to look at blowers, and they didn't give a shit about tire because you your car or you could make failure, right? It didn't matter. 275 limit. I looked at what with with Concrete, and I was like, the 275 is the way to go. Fits on a ton of your cars, got a lot of modifications. Let's try this.
I don't know if there's any signal we can give him to maybe time out. He's frozen. Pull your rabbit ears up higher. Man, that was a great question, Rod.
Yeah, and so everybody knows John just dropped off again. So just so you know, you probably heard he was having some technical difficulty again, so he flashed out. But yeah, I just I just want to hear those. Obviously there was, like you said, the napkin story with the Pizza Hut, and there had to be that first meeting with Donald Long.
Somebody had to contact somebody and said, let's get in this and let's hammer it down.
Right.
And
might have to do what we talked about offline with the second deal.
Yeah, may have to do that. Jared looking for the threes.
Jared's looking for the threes, and he's got a surprise for him.
Maybe he's gonna put a 2 JZ, and there'll be 2.
No.
Maybe
he's a small block for life.
He could sneak it in there, Come on.
No. He's a SBF and 17-inch polished wheels.
And white body.
White. What's the name of that car? White Riot?
White Rice.
Right.
White Rice.
No. I'm talking about Jared.
Oh, Jared, White Riot. Yeah.
Riot. Yeah.
Riot. Yeah. White Riot.
Yeah.
And Jared, we ain't going threes. We haven't even gone teens. Just forget the teens, man. Come on. Just skip right over it.
Skip it. Skip it.
Don't waste time in the teens.
Yeah.
Yeah, White Riot. That's it.
White Riot. Yeah, there you go. What about old Cameron Marshall? Is he still on his car? Is he getting ready to go the next big Donald race, whenever it is?
Maybe he's gonna go to Hot Summer Nights, maybe.
Oh, maybe so. Next weekend, Hot Summer Nights. Maybe him and Tony gonna head down there.
Tony take if they have a limited class, for Scott's new limited car. They was talking about limited last week. So
did they got a limited car? Small block?
Must be it's limited something. It's talking about limited.
Yeah, I got the rules right here.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Well, let me snoop around here a little bit. We got a bunch of his Malibu pictures when it got painted and looked a whole new look. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to cover yet.
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully he can get a hold of Elon Musk real quick and get him tuned back up.
Yep. Get re-beamed in.
Yeah.
Get it beamed back in, Scotty.
Technical director.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a resume, wasn't it?
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Golly.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, man, just he said it flatlined. That must be like his service, maybe.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, just pick any one of those.
Yeah, right.
You've got a good career, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, just like you're saying, their level of, the World Series of Pro Mod. I mean, the RTRA, PDRA. I mean, the caliber of cars that run through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just incredible. And it's definitely who's who in the game there. Man, I had a flashback when he was talking about MSRA and NMCA and all that. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
98, 99, 2000.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught that comment from Jimmy Harris. He's talking about MX 235.
Yeah.
When we were going to Tulsa, what was that? 17, 18. That 235 was hitting hard there. I think they had more 235s going for 15,000 that year. And what was that? The Throwdown, D-Town. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember exactly when that was, but yeah, remember that class. Yeah.
Yeah. Get down.
Is I guess there is still like a class like that, because that's like the Midwest 8.5 deal. They're just racing on that similar tire.
Yeah. And that's what he said they're running in limited too last weekend. That 235, 8.5. And then I guess if you're a nitrous, you can run a 255 or something, they were saying.
Something like that.
Yeah. Those guys are getting down running 480s.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Devin Vanderhoof had the little 235.
Oh yeah,
on
the
his
235s. Yeah.
To slap him around on one of them. I forget which drag and drive it was, but yeah. And he put out some interesting info on that it's you can put the power on that tire in a different way, and it works pretty well. He was talking about that a little bit. It was pretty interesting to hear.
Yeah. Oh, Devin.
And he's going to join us one of these days.
Hey, line it up.
We had to
get Devin on. Call Laura up. Get it locked in.
He'll be.
Speaking of weddings, he's got a wedding coming up.
Yep, coming up. I'm not sure when it is.
You get the invite?
I did not.
55.
People don't want me around in my black tight pants, my tight shorts. You want to see? You want to see my
get your autograph session?
you want to see my tighties?
Sure.
You have to tune in the last week's 255 for the nitrous guys. Turbo and blower guys run a 235.
There you go.
The poor nitrous guys.
Yeah, 255s. Yeah. A little help there.
Darce says that tire is badass. Well, good to see you're still awake, Darce. So now you're an hour from home?
He's probably an hour from home, He
was 2 hours.
Yeah. Junior. Yeah, there you go.
Limited is Junior Ultra.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there's offering more classes, for people to be able to get in and race on the big scene like that. Everybody can't run with Jared Johnson, running X. So
Cameron, gee whiz.
Cameron Marshall. Golly. Both now something I was just thinking about, with Cameron and Jared, we got a small block turbo and we got a big block nitrous, but there's one thing in common. What's that one thing that is in common?
They're both white.
Oh, boo, 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 pow, 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 pow.
Pow, white.
White is right.
Yeah, they are white. Maybe, I don't know.
I think that fly that you had last week's over here.
Is it over there?
Yes, it's over here messing with me.
Maybe it jumped on your shoulder when you was here earlier and went to your
probably
house.
It. That's probably it. Holy cow.
Mm.
So you fast forward 7 days, you think you're going to have a motor behind you?
I don't know, because he's got an injured foot, so if he can get his buddy to help him come get it next week, then possible.
Done deal. That deal kind of came together quick, you know what I mean, for real, looking back.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. I mean, within days you got a deposit, and then another deposit showed up, and final
one more deposit left, and that's the pickup deposit.
Yeah, I mean, for real, for that type of,
I bet within 2 weekends it's gone.
Oh yeah,
I bet. Yeah.
He
texted me. I sent him a picture after you left. I got it all done. I got stuff taped up, and I sent him a picture. I said, "Hey, it's ready whenever you are." He's like, "Cool." He said, "I'll get it, get my days kind of figured out in a week or two and make it happen." And he texts back. He goes, "Does a little dolly with wheels come with it?" He said, "No big deal. I'll replace it if I have to." I said, "Yeah, it comes with it," because I had to customize it with them blocks to space the wheels away from the oil pan sump that I extended. So
there you go.
It goes with it. It's not going to fit an LSX block anyway, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just send it down the road, put it in his truck, and away he goes.
So he goes.
He
He'll be excited.
Yeah. He said, "Thanks a lot. Appreciate it."
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome.
Got Jeff Weiler. Hey, Jeff. Great job as always, Rod and Gary. Thanks, Jeff.
Appreciate it.
We're just winging it here for a little bit, and I'm not sure if we'll get John back, but
he said he messaged us, said it doesn't look good.
Yeah, that's okay. We can do this again next week, kind of do some finishing up. He said it flatlined. Yeah, it's the last thing I seen him say.
Look, go to the next one.
John is trying to buy some more mints. he's trying to get back. So let's see. You got to buy minutes. I can't. My dad had a. My dad
like a flip phone.
Track phone, TRAC. You buy from Walmart, and you buy the minutes from Walmart. My dad had one of those clear up until we moved him out of his house like 2 years ago. He had one of those. Yeah.
Yep.
Buy more minutes. Golly,
that's funny.
What a crazy deal. That's funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. We can goof off a little bit, but
Is Tony Whitmore still on?
I don't know. Tony, are you around? Cameron didn't chime back either after.
No,
he must have just ducked in and ducked out.
Yeah, he went to
bed. John is trying to buy some more minutes. That's hilarious.
That is funny.
Yeah. So let's see, this weekend. So the 31st is Wednesday. Yep. That's the end of July.
Yeah. Of this year.
Yeah. So 1, 2, in 3 weeks, are we going to be in Kansas City on Slicks?
That's the plan. August 16th, 17th, I guess. We can also go to Bon Air.
Volunteer.
Because I'll have doors on by then.
Oh, you will be legal. That's the same weekend. Right. Right.
Little tune up for Tulsa.
Oh man, listen to you. So you want me to claim you the winner for?
No.
Come on.
No.
I'll bet anybody with Rod's money that Rod will win. I'll bet any amount of Rod's money that you want to bet.
Woo-hoo.
But you got to pay up, Rod.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Mark Walton is watching. Hey, Mark. We lost our guest due to some technical difficulties. He's gonna catch shit for this for a while. Can someone text John some minutes, please? Oh man.
Oh my goodness. I don't think Tony's watching anymore. I was gonna tell him something.
I don't think they are. Huh. Text him some minutes.
Text him some minutes. That's funny.
Oprah's going to give minutes for everybody. Minutes for everyone. You get minutes and you get minutes. Man, and hopefully before too long we're going to get some info out from Mid-America Dragway and the Harpers on the late September race. Some details on that.
Yeah, there's 2 more big races going on in Arc City this year still, talking about the heads up stuff. Late September, and then they got the race for the rod in October, and
that'll be cool.
Heads up. But this September race, and basically it's the makeup race for a little rain out, I believe it was, and which is the right call at that time because it was raining. And they're throwing some more money in the pot, aren't they? Not they get some of Gary's deposit.
Right. Yes. Yeah, they're wanting that to be 5,000 plus to win deal.
Yeah.
So I know the other numbers they're shooting for, and they'll let him put that out when he makes it solid. But hopefully that'll bring some hitters and some fast cars on the 27th and 28th of September.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for Titans in Tulsa, man.
No doubt.
In Arc City late in the month, Titans and Ozark on the October 4th and 5th. Some good stuff.
Yeah.
Crickets. Sorry, Jennifer.
Well, maybe we can reconvene next week and do it again.
Yeah, he gets a bigger antenna on the roof.
Yeah. He'll have to go over to Mike Peters' house and do it over there, you know.
I send Mike down there, go down there and fix him up.
Yeah.
Huh.
Go to a Waffle House or a
Man,
Best Buy or
go.
something.
I'll go to Waffle House. Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Whew. Let's see. What's our next? If we go to Kansas City, we'll be right at the Waffle House.
Yeah. That's the 16th as well. You know, and also speaking of September,
Yes.
the in between Tulsa and Mad,
Yes.
there's the 14th race back at Flying H.
Yep.
And I think that's just like another heads up race, if you will.
That's also Street Machines at Ozark that same weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of stuff happening.
Yeah. September and October is going to be busy.
Yeah. You need to get that motor back in. Let's go.
Put it back in? You
What?
mean that I own less of it now than I had previously.
Previously owned it.
I don't own the majority in stock on that engine.
Oh my goodness, Jimmy's hanging it on him.
Jimmy says Stevie Fast has Wi-Fi in his toter, and it's
Come
not
on.
real great sometimes.
Yeah. Oh my
Chris
goodness.
Grafton's watching. Hey, Chris. Chris, we lost our John Sears to some.
Yeah, we lost
technical-
our
So we're probably going to have to finish this up next week
next week. Yeah. That's
after he
all right.
buys more minutes for his track phone.
Oh, there you go.
John said he's willing to give it another go at a later date. Yeah.
Okay. That'll
That's
work.
what we'll
Let's just
figure
plan on
out.
that.
Yep.
We got a good start. I mean, we got a
Yeah.
good start. And we went into an hour and a half or so, hour 40.
Yep.
So we can pick up next week and maybe you can go to O'Reilly's and get a stator and a and the router and be ready to go.
A longer cable that'll handle more power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this week, I'm going to work on my doors and I'm going to get those installed. And I think I'll be limited ready. I may do a converter change. I'll talk to you about that.
Okay.
So-
To the
So we'll see.
titanium.
Power pump.
Titanium. Oh yeah.
Power pump.
Power. All the power pump.
Power pump.
Mm.
Yeah. Now another shout out to Ultracolor, man. They did me right on my doors and they look great. Matched right up. Yeah. There you go.
Chris, love that hot rod in the background. That one?
That's it. That's the only one back there.
That thing's a mess. Holy cow. Thanks, Chris.
Oh,
Man, what a disaster I got over here. Jeez.
shoot. All you gotta do is weld one more tube. That
Oh
thing's ready to
shit, I'm
go.
going backwards, dude. Now I got a box full of tubes over there, and I got a box full of tubes coming from Wolf Aircraft. Man, I better make sure I got a lot of filler rod and gas.
Yeah. I think
But-
you got some SBF motor pieces in your garage too.
It'd probably fit. Oh, I do. Yeah. Stuff for you.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm putting an LS in it to fit the Titans limited class
Limited.
with a small block and some boost.
Yeah. Small block
I
and
know it
some
sounds like a
boost.
terrible idea from the big block to. I think it's the right thing to do.
Chris Finney thought so. Golly.
I'm not sure my engine guy thinks so either. Them LS heads are fucking junk.
How you doing? Golly.
Come on, man.
Get
Come
that
on.
out of- Get your picture off my wall.
I told you he's probably got it out by the dumpster. Mike says you guys did a great job. The next one should get more into the meat and potatoes, or if Gary prefers bacon of X275. I'm down for some bacon.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree, Mike. We'll set it up for next week. Hopefully, we'll get a hold of him again and get somebody to.
Yeah, Chris says, and never would have thought that would have been the answer. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna try to get in that that limited
Yeah,
Titans
wants to-
limited class.
he wants to do those 10,000 RPM neutral drop burnouts.
It was either that or put nitrous on the big block, and I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know nothing about, and nitrous I know zero about.
As stout as that motor was, you probably just need a 100 shot.
Man, nitrous. I don't know about nitrous, guys.
Yeah, you used to have nitrous.
A little fogger on a button, like a little hospital bed button.
That stock Mustang's pulling away.
Go get him. Go get it. Top Gun will blow your mind, not your motor.
We used to call that top bang.
Top bang.
Oh, that's funny. Coyote. That's
Coyote. No, I'm not doing no coyote,
yes,
Darce.
coyote.
What are you doing?
Let's vote on it. Right now. Let's vote.
Vote billet or coyote? No.
Oh, man, coyotes are rolling.
Chris, he says billet LS. No, the Titans don't allow billet blocks or billet heads.
Yeah.
So
no
I gotta
billet.
use that junky old iron stuff.
Oh man.
Yep.
They allow the hip.
Yeah. I can do the
Did you
cast.
ever read that? Did we talk about that? The temperature and the pressure, 30,000. That's
that whole
awesome.
process. Yeah.
Yeah. I did a deep dive read on that on Edelbrock's website. What was I doing there?
I won't say. I'm not saying. I'm not gonna say. You can almost see something. See it right there?
I
see it right there?
It. Yeah, I can see it. You mentioned it.
This is nothing to do with it. What is this? Oh, what's that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What is in my
to-do
way?
list? Is that mow the grass?
Mow the grass. Keep my wife alive after surgery. Yeah.
Little to-do list.
Cook my own meals.
Go to work tomorrow.
Get up and go to work.
Cool. Right on. All right.
Well, you think we ought to shut her down?
Yeah, let's shut her down. We're dropping.
All right.
All right. So we'll come back next week with John again. Jump into
it's
the
in the schedule,
X275. We'll start with the Pizza Hut and go to the right. Yeah.
Pizza
and we'll
Hut.
let you guys know by Wednesday if it hits the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll put another event deal up there. What's his comment here?
Wait,
what? Oh, don't go to sleep, Darce. Come on. You should be almost home. You should be close. Hey, just push on the gas pedal a little harder. You'll get there a little quicker.
That's it.
Mike Peters, thanks, guys. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, we'll keep it going.
Get John some more power.
More power.
All right.
All right, bud. You ready?
Ooh, wait, hang on. Wow. I gotta get the right box lined up here. All right. Ready? Ow. Are you stuck?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, stuck. All right.
All right.
We'll catch John again when it works in his schedule. Hopefully it's next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Gary.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully come back next week. See you, Rod. Good night.
See you, bud.